Good morning, everybody. It's Andrew here from I Find a Local. Today I'm here with a friend and a business colleague. Actually, he's a fellow member in a business networking group that I'm involved with, Tony Nash. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Thank you, Andrew.
Awesome.
Great to be here.
Tony is a real estate agent here on the Sunshine Coast, a very successful one. Lots of value bombs will be shared today. But first, I'd like to ask you, Tony, if you just sort of delve back into your past, where you came from, what brought you to this point, where you're at now.
Yeah, okay, Andrew, thanks for this. I met a beautiful girl in New Zealand. I'm a New Zealander, in 1969, and thought it was a good idea to get married. We'd been married 46 years now, so it was obviously a good idea. And at the time, I could afford either the ring or a trip to Australia. Sandra gave me a one-way ticket to Australia, and I bought the ring. So that's what brought us to Australia, or brought me to Australia.
46 years of bliss, yeah?
46 years of bliss. Been some ups and downs.
I'm a Kiwi too, did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
From Waikanae. So there's lots of us over here. So you moved to Australia. What next?
Okay, when we came to Australia, we got married in Australia, and then I was a stock and station agent, and we got back from our honeymoon. We were into our first flat, thought it was wonderful, came home the second day, and my boss had transferred me out to Kingaroy, which is a little bit west of Brisbane. And so merchandising in the stock and station agents industry, loved it. I was managing 2 branches out west there, not managing the branch, the merchandise side, and loved it. Got a new car every year, a company car every year, because those days you had to do 50,000 miles to get a new car, and we did that every year. And we had a big... what we called a shaggin' wagon, Falcon 500 station wagon. Sandra put curtains in the back, and we put a mattress in, and we used to come down to Caloundra Beach, Bulcock Beach, and all the beaches on the coast every weekend.
Awesome. So, which stock and station agent, do you mind me asking?
Yeah, it was McTaggart's at the time.
I've spent a lot of time out bush too, do you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I actually... mustering helicopter pilot for a long time.
Oh, right. Yeah,
so
you did tell me.
We were way out bush. But so how long were you in that game for?
Well, that was probably 5 years, and we absolutely loved living in Kingaroy. There was a lovely little group there, but it was one of those cases that I used to have to shout first at the pub and shout last, and I used to get up in the mornings, the next morning, and see that my car was back, and I thought that was good. And so I thought, well, if I carried on doing this, I'll end up with a big bear belly and a red nose. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I said to my wife, look, probably could make a lot of money going back farming in New Zealand. So went back to New Zealand, told my old man that I'd like to work for him. He was very dubious about it. He was subsequently quite pleased. I share milked for him. Then we bought a farm in Okarari, which is in central North Island. We farmed for a number of years, and then we went for a world trip in 1990. Took the children away for a whole year, put a manager on the farm. He actually did better than I could. So it was a good trip. And when we got back, we were restless, and we decided that 4:30 mornings were probably not something I needed to do. And so Sandra always wanted to come back to Brisbane. I said, well, okay, I'm happy to come back to Australia, but let's go to the sunny coast. We love the sunny coast.
So where were you in New Zealand? We were
dairy farming in Tirau, which is central, near Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah, near Hamilton and Tauranga.
Yeah, because dairy farming is a tough gig, isn't it?
It's a tough gig, but I was big enough. Our farm was big enough. We owned a farm, and we share milked on another, and we were big enough to have a couple of staff. So I pretty much had weekends off, which was good. So
very spoiled. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so. Back here again. So when did you step into the real estate game?
Well, when I actually went off in the last year in New Zealand and did a certificate in business management, and I thought I'd be an import-exporter when I came to Australia. I had a young family, and I realised when I got here that if I was going to do that, I'd be away the whole time, and I just didn't think it was the right time to be doing that. So I thought, well, stock and station agency, real estate, perhaps they're a bit similar. So walked into a place up at Montville where we were living, renting. And of course, they said, come in. And so got cracking in there and seemed to love it and did quite well.
Awesome. And so now you're working with Amber Worsham. I was sitting here waiting for you this morning. I couldn't believe the number of girls or people coming in and out of the office. It's quite a big office you've got here.
Yeah, it's very big. Amber's a very successful real estate principal. She's been a top agent for many years, and I'm really delighted to be working here. I believe there's 30 agents here and support staff of perhaps 8 or 9. There's a big rental department as well, and actually, Amber Worsham Property Agency won last week the Large Agency of the Year for Queensland.
Awesome.
So she won the medium about 3 years ago, and now the large. So it's a very big fillip.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And with all the sort of, I'm not going to get into politics, but there's obviously a lot of changes lately, and a lot of sort of things happening in that front. How's the real estate here on the Sunshine Coast at the moment? Is it fairly stable? What's it doing? Is it going up or down? Or where do you think it's going to go from here?
I've been in real estate here now 20 years on the coast. And when I started, it was very volatile. We'd have high highs and low lows. And 2007 was the last peak. And we lost 10% on average after that in terms of that's what our owners lost. And it's taken 10 years to get back to that. So at the moment, the coast is in the 10 o'clock out of 12 o'clock in terms of price market, and we're heading towards 12 o'clock, so it's going very, very well. People are now making money out of real estate, even if they bought in 2007. The last 10 years, we've been presiding over most people losing money.
Right. And would you say that the Sunshine Coast is more resilient to the ups and downs, being that so many people want to come here? I mean,
it remains to be seen. The dynamics are better. If you look at Matusik's report, he's saying now we're no longer, our prosperity is not to do with building. We're a health precinct, we're an education precinct, we're a tourism precinct. We've got strings to our bow now. So one would think we're more resilient, and hopefully we won't go, go more like that. But it remains to be seen. The world's very volatile. Real estate in Australia is the most expensive in the world, or some of the most expensive in the world, and we can't predict the future.
No, you can't predict the future, but certainly on the Sunshine Coast,
it's going well. It's going very well.
Like I mentioned in the beginning, Tony and I are a member of a business networking group here on the Sunshine Coast, the businessreferralclub.com.au. I'm a huge fan of business networking. I know Tony is too. And so maybe you'd like to just sort of give us a bit of a take on your experience with business networking. What I mean by this is meeting once a week and sort of finding referrals for our colleagues and sort of talking about our businesses. So, Tony?
Happy to do that. Interestingly, it was about 17 or 18 years ago, 3 of us decided to start a business referrals club. And around about 5 or 6 years later, we met with another group and we merged, and we found that we'd be better to run it ourselves. So we're a bit more relaxed than a lot of business referral clubs. It's very, very important to my business, and I think to anyone's business. I go under the principle that people need to know, like and trust you before they'll actually refer to you.
Absolutely.
So it's a matter of turning up and giving rather than taking.
Absolutely.
I work on a policy of calling all my referral people valued customers, and I set out to give them a gift or something of value every 3 months.
Yep.
Things that I do are like give them stamps when the stamp things go up. I give them batteries for their smoke alarms, and at the moment I'm giving some people tickets to a show.
I think it's important. I actually was in BNI many years ago, and we founded a chapter, and I ended up being president, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful group of people, and we very quickly went to 68 people.
Yeah.
So with BNI, you've got to turn up every week. It's the rule. And quite frankly, I think whilst our group is a little bit what's the word?
Casual.
A little bit more. No, they're serious, but it's not so stringent with the rules. But I do note that those that do turn up are the ones that are reaping the rewards.
Correct.
Those that are putting in get something back, and I'm a huge believer in that. The more you give, the more you're going to get back. And I know with Tony, he's a huge contributor to our club, our business referral club, in that you're giving referrals all the time. And the way I see it is if there's 40 people in the networking group, that means each of us have got 39 potential sales or 39 salespeople. Would you agree with that?
Correct. Yeah, and each person in the club knows and influences 250 other people on average. And if they know, like, and trust you, I find I have to teach them how to give me a referral. It's no good just saying, "Oh, give Tony Nash a ring." That's what I call a cold lead. What I ask them to do is say, if you've got someone in the street or someone that wants a house sold, say to their friend, "Can I get Tony to give you a call by 6 o'clock tonight?"
Yeah.
And that way it's a warm lead, and yes, the more you put into it, the more you get. It's all about persistence, and you know that people are not going to go out working for you every day, but the rewards are great. I get at least half of my business through the club.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about that a while ago, but yeah, so if you're not a member of the club, not so much a club, but a business networking group, I do urge you to consider it, but it's not a breakfast club. You know what I mean?
No,
you don't go there to eat breakfast. You go there to build rapport and trust and relationships with your fellow members, and I think that's what it's all about.
Agreed. It's a commitment. I'm committed to going every Thursday unless I'm on holiday, and I look forward to it. In fact, because interestingly, over the years, these become my friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, that's awesome, Tony. Thanks very much for the time today. If you're looking for a real estate agent here on the Sunshine Coast, I recommend Tony. It's all about authenticity, and this guy is just one of those people that you can, he'll look after you. So, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Over and out.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrew.